Hello and welcome to another podcast of 60 Second Gamer, and this week we have Bioshock. With me this evening, I'll remember to introduce him this time, is Mr. Simon Pryor.
Good morning.
And Mr. Richard Hatton.
Hello.
Yes, we have Bioshock. One of the, I don't know, would you say one of the scariest games out at the minute?
Well, not scary, just one of the most influential.
Yeah.
It's quite.
Well, it pooed me up somewhat.
It doesn't take much though, does it?
No.
You were scared by Italia 90, admit it.
Yeah. It was. We keep referring back to that, but
Yeah.
it's good. Buy it if you get the chance.
It's a couple of quid on eBay.
Yes.
Even less than a car boot.
Yes, it's all good fun. All in the name of sport. But yeah, it's the spiritual sequel to the System Shock series, which I've never played and never even heard of until this game came out. And developed by 2K Games, which was originally known as Irrational Games.
Is this my game save?
There you go.
It appears so, yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you, where are you?
I'm in
no idea.
Neptune's Bounty.
You've got a very long way to go then.
Yeah. I haven't had a massive far in. I've got to the bit where the demo ends, and that's
Oh, blimey, that isn't.
just after that.
That's a long way back. Yeah, the story is pretty much you're on a plane that's mysteriously crashes in the middle of the Atlantic, and you end up discovering an underwater city known as Rapture, which you then also discover has been taken over by it's just gone to hell, in general speaking.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was once a civilized city, and power crazed lunatics have taken over, and it's all gone tits up.
Yeah, I think the big plot point is the fact that they discovered something called Adam
Yeah.
in various sea slugs at the bottom of the ocean, and because they've been tampering with genetics, Adam is one of these things that has caused the citizens of Rapture to go nuts. And
Case in point, there's a shadow of someone who's gone mental.
yes.
Yes, and there's a floating corpse.
Two
floating
floating
corpses.
Two,
corpses.
three,
Three.
four,
Yes.
four. Several.
Several.
Four main surprises.
But yeah, and obviously, you are there to, you always say pick up the pieces, but there is an underlying story as to why you've been brought here.
Yes, but we won't give that away. We'll let you play it and find out. Unless, of course, you already have, in which case, I bet your jaw hit the ground like ours did. But it's pretty much just a simple shooter. You wander around. You can also get you get the Adam from the Little Sisters as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Which are these?
You can either save them or
harvest them or save them or whatever.
I actually saved the first two.
Oh, that's good.
I saved all mine. I did. But they're pretty much little children that wander around with these massive behemoths that look like massive walking 1950s diver suits known as Big Daddies, which sound a lot like whales.
Or
And then
70s wrestlers.
yeah. And you can either harvest the Adam from them or you can save them, and they thank you dearly for it. But another bit of useless information for you is that the Little Sisters were originally designed, as Rich mentioned, they found the Adam from sea slugs. The Little Sisters were originally designed to be said sea slugs. They were also designed to be crippled dogs and alien-esque creatures before they decided freaky children was a
better option.
Yeah, a more sympathetic option. Which, strange enough, it is.
That's a very good hack.
Yeah,
I'm quite good at the hacking.
he is. He's very good. I'm rubbish at it. The hacking is sort of. Would you say it was a mini? No,
It's basically
it's sort of
pipe,
an extra spin-off.
It's
isn't
basically pipe mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In mini game form.
And they get harder and harder as you go along, with pipes that are broken and bits that will set off alarm or short circuit the thing you're trying to hack, and you'll lose health and whatever else have you. It gets a bit more difficult. I'm not very good at it personally, but
I was getting better.
yeah, I think I got a little bit better towards the end, but I still wasn't exactly brilliant.
Oh, it's already started.
Yes, it's. Oh, this one looks like it might have. Oh dear. Oh no, he's pulled it back.
No, he's
Pulled it back at the last minute. And
Yeah, one thing I will say about the hacking minigame is the fact that if you play it a lot like I did, I'm talking about the actual game here, not the hacking minigame, is the fact that you will, or you may, end up having pipe dreams.
very similar to Guitar Hero Dreams.
Yes. There's a sort of unleashed hell at the moment.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
this
hacked
is
a
the-
turret and
there's a big daddy walking around and
oh, there's a splicer with explosives as well.
And
He has quite literally unleashed hell in this little
Yes.
area.
I think I may attempt to take down a big daddy, which is going to prove somewhat troublesome, seeing as I don't really have a lot in the way of extremely good ammo. But nevertheless,
Yeah, it's worth a try. All in the name of sport.
I took one down. I electro bolted him several times and he was down. The first one.
Oh, we gave you a damn good walloping. There's a bit of useless information as well. The Big Daddy is also the primary character of the second Bioshock, but more of that when it comes out.
and he's down.
He's down.
That
Yeah.
didn't actually take as long
No.
as I thought it would.
He's deaded.
And seeing as Sai has already rescued some of the little sisters, I will continue to do likewise.
Yes.
I mean,
Rescue.
the payoff for rescuing them is that you don't get as much Adam straight away, but you will eventually be given more from the Tenenbaum woman. But it just feels nicer to save them in the long run, and you will get a reward in the long run for doing it. So.
Yes. That's another thing that scared me the first few times I played this game. You just go around a corner and someone would be there that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
That scares the lily. Oh. See, this is what I like. This is one of the few horror games, like Dead Space, for example.
Yeah, Dead Space is a proper
Oh,
horror
no.
title.
That I found when I was playing this on my own, if I heard like a creak in the scenery or something like that, I'd physically stop. I would let go of the controller and think, Christ, what is that? And I'd make the boat look around before I went any further, adjusting it. And after 99% of the time, it's just the scenery creaking. And I found that with Dead Space as well. So it was a sign of a good horror when it makes you stop at the faintest sound.
Yes.
Always a good idea. But yes, it's
Yeah. One.
You are the hacking king.
he isn't he? Far too good at it.
One good point about the horror element as well. Excuse me. Is when
You're excused.
I think we were playing it round at my house on the 360. Ant came over one day, and even though I knew what was coming, I still got him to his pants. pardon
One
my
day,
French.
we played it for about split over a month, I think.
But anyway, there's an area you go to in sort of the second or third major part of Rapture where it's all based in like doctors and dentists type area, and one particular area you go into has, I think it is the dentist bit. You pick up an audio diary which is, explains part of the history of Rapture and whatnot, and you turn around having picked this audio diary up, and there is literally a bloke stood right behind you doing. Well, he's not actually doing anything, he just stands there. And I think Ant actually physically jumped out of his chair by a couple of centimetres. It was
And
very...
you didn't return
No,
to it for a
I-
week afterwards.
No, I didn't actually move out of my chair. The chair moved back a couple of inches. My feet were in such a position that when I jumped, my feet shot outwards, so the chair shot backwards. It was a bit unnerving, let's put it that way. And there are several moments like that.
But it's in that regards, it is very, very good.
I mean, as Mr. Hatton mentioned as well, as the audio diaries that are scattered around the city, you'll find left, right, and centre that explain.
They're not essential, but they fill in the backstory, don't they?
Yeah.
If you like to know what's gone on somewhere, then they are quite nice to pick up and have a little listen to. Because I mean, sometimes you'll see a room I mean, there's one room with a bloke lying on a surgeon's table with a big daddy drill stuck in him. And you know, what in God's name's happened to him? Then you find his audio diary, and it turns out he was fiddling with a little sister. I don't know, I'll rephrase that.
Doing experiments.
He was experimenting with a little sister, and a big daddy copped him and evidently impaled him onto the table. Yes, had him. Penetrated him on a dramatic level. And there's just little things like that if you like to know what's happened. I mean, sometimes they do actually help you solve puzzles and things like that.
Yeah,
as well.
they give you
Hints and tips.
door numbers. There's an area that involves someone searching for their child called Marcia, and you eventually find the room that the parents are in.
Excuse me.
But they have obviously been offed in the past due to this massive splice of war. Is all I'm going to say without giving too much of the story away. And you can hack into the door, but the audio diary does give you the actual door number, so you can do it that way.
I mean, sometimes there is one bit where there are electrical cables in this pool of water, and you need to get to the other side. And the audio diary I found actually gave me a useful hint on how to get to the other side, which was most helpful indeed, and doth work rather well. So, you know, I mean, hopefully they'll have stuff like this in the second one as well, which will make life.
Be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah.
By all accounts, Bioshock 2 looks as though it's going to be like more of the same, but slightly different. A bit like Noel Edmonds. The difference between Noel Edmonds in the 70s and Noel Edmonds now is slightly different.
Doesn't look much older, doesn't look much younger.
Nah, he looks older, just doesn't look
Not
really
by much.
different.
No.
It's like men seem to reach a certain age and then they stop aging. Michael Palin, case in point.
Yeah, there you go. Christopher Lee.
Yeah, well, he reached 80 and he's
just stopped.
Permanently that age now.
Like I say, Christopher Lee is going to live to see the end of the world. He's going to outlive me. He's going to be 200 and whatever, and I'll be dead, and he'll still be living on.
Yeah.
Proud and strong.
He is actually Dracula. I think that might be the piece of it.
He'll still be releasing albums and whatnot.
Yeah, he's doing a death metal album, hasn't he?
Symphonic metal album in March, which I shall be getting hold of. It
Yeah.
sounds very good. There are clips on his MySpace which are very interesting. We've gone completely off point again.
Yeah.
We've shot off subject rather quickly.
Back to the game. Anything else on the list?
Apart from the graphics being ridiculously nice, I mean, it is very pretty to look at.
I mean, I got this on the PS3 because I didn't have a 360 at the time. And another Big Daddy.
Yeah, I'd say the 360 and the PS3 graphics are
They're pretty much
one and the same, really, aren't they?
They're not far off.
No.
Some of the shadings dip slightly more subtle on the PS3.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, the same game. Yeah, I mean it's just go. I mean, again, I've never quite seen a game with such technical water graphics, which is good. Being seems as most of the game is based in the water or under it.
Yeah.
And it just seems to add that extra je ne sais quoi to it. I mean, especially when you walk through trickling water, an effect comes like a splurgy, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. Effect happens on the screen as if the water's trickling down your face, which is quite a nice touch. And Rich is taking down another Big Daddy, quite spectacularly actually.
Only one, a little bit more to go.
Yeah, and he's been spunked.
And there he is.
Good lord. And the little girl's trying to protect him, but failing miserably. But yeah, I mean, it works well enough, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good game. I haven't had the time to get into it as well as I'd like. But can you blast her once you've saved her?
No, you cannot.
Oh,
it's a shame.
that'd be quite a dark twist, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like-
that's another thing as well. I won't tell you what they are, but you can get one of 3 endings.
2.
Was it 2?
Oh no, you can get the
Yeah.
same. One of the endings is the same, but it's
Slightly
Slightly
different.
it is slightly
It's
different.
narrated in a slightly sorrowful tone,
Yeah.
but
as opposed to
angry. and happy. You can get a sorrowful ending, a happy ending, or a very angry ending. But we
Depending
won't tell you.
on what you do to the little
Yeah.
sisters.
Which-
Not non-sexually.
It's just, I mean, there is one bit that will make you feel slightly morally wrong when you get given a camera and told to take pictures of the little sisters. Oh, I'm taking photos of little children. This just isn't right. Makes you feel like a certain pop star who's no longer with us. But I won't go on to the controversy.
You digress.
Oh,
Quite violent.
yes,
I
quite
think before
viciously.
we, get sued, we should leave it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely a bombshell to end on. So, yes, thank you very much for indulging.
And if you haven't got Bioshock yet, get it, because Bioshock 2 will make a lot more sense.
Yes.
Um,
And we've just killed Simon.
I'm suffering quite violently, so that's why I haven't spoken very much, because it sets me off.
Yes.
So yeah, I like I said, I enjoy it. It's a good game.
Yes, purchase it if you don't. I mean, even if you're not interested in the second one, just get the first one for Christ's sakes. It is brilliant on all accounts. So, yes, toodle pips, and thank you for listening.